Kyle Halal Yahbashim Shai, double honors to the apostles of GMS. Honest truth offers to be pushing this truth in sincerity. Okay, I'm going to do a quick video with this article in mind, but I'm going to premise it with this statement that this so-called truther has made, and I'll go through it. I've only briefly read it, but this goes into the fact that all of your religions that you have out there, they're all gonna go into a new world, one world religion. And you know us here at GMS, we don't deal with no religion. We deal with the truth, and that truth is prescribed by the scriptures, which you find in the Holy Bible. Okay, and really nothing else is second to it, man. All right. So without much further ado, I'm gonna start off with this article. This guy's trying to so-called get deep and so on and so forth. So when he throws them bones out there, I'll do my best to sift them out. So he says, as shocking as it sounds, all the mainstream religions of the world are part of the New World Order. Okay. It says, and are pulling on the same ropes as the devil. Now, they're talking on the this individual's talking about on he's basically, some of these so-called truthers, they mush. Okay, they mix the spiritual demon Satan, who works for the Most High, who's a permanent council member on the Most High's board of directives, if you will. Okay, and the man that you know as Esau, we know as Esau within the scriptures. Okay, who is the devil incarnate on the earth. They go out doing wickedness. They are the evil. Okay, and he says, and all of these religions are working out to unite the masses, right, of this world into one religion. Okay, and he says, and you have been lied to, my friend. A few people in the world today are aware of just how much Satan, which is Esau, okay, led by the so-called elite banking families, right, like the Rothschilds, the gays. I don't know, some of the Rothschilds, the prominent name that comes to mind. Rockefeller as well. All right, it says few people in the world today are aware of just how much Satan has infiltrated organized religions. One a point that comes to immediately to mind is the IUIC, okay, which have been infiltrated by Esau, okay, and they've used the word Satan there, all right, which Satan, I believe, is just a term meaning the adversary. And who is the adversary to the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans? Esau, because he sold them into a hardcore slavery, lynched them, killed them, fed their babies to alligators so they can make alligator bags and so on and so forth. All right, the list is endless. All right, he says, and the word of the Most High warns us in 2 Corinthians. So they kind of trying to get deep. It says that Satan and his false teachers always come unto us in sheep's clothing to deceive, which is a true statement, man. All right, Esau's gonna come having the appearance of being a sheep, where he's actually a wolf. A lot of these guys here, as sheepish as they look, they're pedophiles. Okay, they really worship Satan. All right, and they're hoping to fulfill their so-called the agenda of the elites. Well, if they're gonna have it to where they have that new world order, man. All right, so they're really sheep in wolves' clothing, and that also goes for our people as well, as in the leaders of these different camps, ISUPK, IUIC, right, and that's just to name a few. Those are the ones that come to mind at first. They are sheep's, they are wolves in sheep's clothing, man. Okay. But inside they are ravening wolves. I believe the scripture says that they are ravening wolves inside, man. Because their whole agenda is to make money on this side. And they're using the truth as a means to do so. Whereas the elites, they go a step further. They're using the truth as a means to kill the people off, man. Because it's gonna be easy to chip them guys when they're all in one religion, and whoever's the head of that religion says, look, you gotta take the chip, or you gotta do this, that, and the third, and lo and behold, that's gonna lead to your destruction. All right. So I'm going to hit a few more points within this. And what's important to remember is what Nimrod was trying to do when he set up Babylon. And when he set up Babylon, he wanted everybody to be of one speech and one language and of one religion. And the Most High stopped it because it was wicked. Okay? And that's the same thing you're seeing Esau doing. That's the same thing Esau is doing now. That's what you're seeing Esau do right now. Okay? Through all of these talk about Islam, talk about Christianity, All right, all of these the different religions, you're seeing all of their so-called leaders, all right, coming together, all right, so that they could do what? So that ultimately they could set up their so-called one world religion as a means of controlling the vast quantities of people that they really want to reduce down to about 500 million, if I remember the figure correctly. So it says we see the occult everywhere we look nowadays. It says some of the most some common symbols are the Illuminati period, which you see on your dollar bill, as you've seen on the left hand side there. It says the Old Sea and Eye of Horus, which is was that Egyptian, okay. Um, you know, going back onto Semiramis, Ishtar and Tammuz and Nimrod and all of that. And it says, and which is displayed on the back of the US dollar bill, $1 bill, and says the eye enables one to see, apparently. And it says the Eye of Horus represents those in the highest order of the Illuminati, and that's, you know, apparently, okay. But really, that's, you know, I'm not really trying to get into that. They you know, he's going into his um soliloquy, if you will, about, you know, the different occults, you know. But that's basic. You should know that. You know, if you don't know that, then you really don't know. You really don't know nothing, man. You really need to getting into studying. Okay, so he's gonna name some examples here. For instance, Albert Pike says one of the biggest occult groups is Freemasonry, whose false called is Baphomet, Albert Pike's creation, which is untrue because Baphomet goes a lot further back in time, if I'm not mistaken, than Albert Pike. All right, and then you got the Baphomet over there. I believe his president was George Washington, who sits on a. They made a statue of him like that. I can't remember um, what individual that was. And then I'll just pull this out before I go into this article. It says a few people know Charles Taze Russell, who was the founder of Jehovah's Witnesses, and Joseph Smith, founder of Mormonisms, were 33rd degree Freemasons. Okay, and like I said, not to go into this too much, and keeping in the spirit of keeping this short. They have this is the tomb, or the what do you call it, the gravestone of Charles Taze Russell, who was supposedly set up the Jehovah's Witness. All right, and you can see it's a Masonic pyramid, man. I'm going to show you that they all have one agenda, man. Okay, which is to which is the so-called New World Order, man. Okay, that and ultimately really is to destroy a hell of a lot of you people, man. Okay, but we know through the scriptures that they're going to try to achieve all of that, but ultimately they're going to not be able to achieve that because of what? Because the Most High is going to stop them. All right, he says and this is the main article I wanted to get at. I'll just put like again, keeping it in the spirit of keeping it short. I'll just pull out a few points out of this. And it says the one world religion cometh. It says Pope Francis warmly welcomes the top Islamic cleric to the Vatican. Okay, so those two things are supposed to be indistinguishable. They're supposed to be separate. They're supposed to be mutually exclusive, I believe is the term you use when two things are independent of one another. Okay, it says, and when Pope Francis met the Sheikh Ahmed Al-Tayeb on Monday, he told him that our meetings is the message. He says precisely what kind of message was the Pope Francis attempting to convey. He was basically he was trying to get them people to come together, man. All right, because ultimately when the Yahushua comes, which is the name of the Lord, right? When he comes, they're all gonna have to go under one banner, man, and try to fight against the chariots of the Lord. Okay, so even that one world religion is going to help unify them, right, in trying to fight against the Lord, man. All right, which they're gonna fail miserably. Okay, we know that through the scriptures, man. All right. It says, and the Sheikh Ahmed Al-Tayeb is the grand Imam of Cairo's Al-Mazar Mosque, and some have described him as the highest figure in Sunni Islam. Okay, this is Daily Mail said that the meeting between these two men was a historic bid to reopen the dialogue between the two churches. All right, and it says, and as you will see below, this is yet another in a long series of attempts by the false prophets to build bridges between Catholics and various other faiths. And we know through the Vatican, which is the head of them different religions that you have out there in the world. Okay, say when you're gonna have them other, these heathens are crazy. They're gonna make up some shit. All right, so not all the religions you're gonna have out there stem from the Vatican. For the major ones, man, they're controlled by, well, as the Vatican, man. You got the Vatican, which controls the religions upon the earth. You got London, which controls the money, and you got what is it? The United States, the so-called United States of America, that controls the military expeditions of Esau's war beast profiteering machine, man. All right. Again, just a few more points, and then we'll call it evening. It says, to build bridges between the Catholics and other various faiths. So they're gonna get other different. They're gonna use this individual because he's still just a puppet, and they're gonna use him to welcome all these other different faiths, which they're not faiths, man. They're counter faiths. Okay, to put your trust in this devil here is counter profitable to your faith, man. Right? Faith is about things that you don't see, man. Believing that the Lord's gonna come back when there's no empirical evidence. Because dudes is always talking about some goddamn empirical evidence. The empirical evidence is that I have the faith and you do not. Okay? And the empirical evidence is gonna be those ICBMs hitting you on the head, right? And Adawan Rataza, Yahba Shimi Al-Shai Rataza, not hitting me, man. That's gonna be the empirical evidence. Okay? So this counter faith that you have here, all right, hence the scripture why it calls it the Antichrist, all right, is the fact that these individuals are not going to lead you to your salvation, man. All right. In fact, they're going to lead you into your destruction. Hence the reason why they all come in together, just like how you had it in Babylon. Guess what the Most High did in Babylon? He destroyed it, man. Ultimately, okay. He split the languages up, and then Babylonians rose up by after time, and the Most High destroyed them Babylonians, man. All right. So let's just finish this off. And says, and in the end, what are we to make of all of this? And says, could this be possible that Pope Francis is laying the groundwork for the super world church and the coming world religion that David Wilkinson and so many others have warned about? Okay, so you've seen through these two separate articles what these elites' agendas is, as when you see their puppets moving in the fashion they do, as exemplified in this article here, man. So without that being said, I'm gonna say Kal Halal Ya Bashimi Hao Shai. Alright. Double honors to the apostles of the GMS. Honest you brothers that be pushing this truth with sincerity. And Ya Bashimi Hao Shai Ratazal. I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.